Welcome to the AI Blockchain Summit in Malta. I'm Jane King. With me is Tom Trowbridge, the founder and also former president of Hedera. So great to have you here. And I got a chance to listen in on the panel a little bit about Facebook's Libra. And I'm based in the US, so there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen with that. And I mean, is that kind of because it seems like a decent idea, but I think a lot of people are not trusting Facebook at the moment. So, I mean, what do you think of Facebook's Libra and all kind of new cryptocurrencies in general?
It's a very important question, and the way I'd answer that is I think it's terrific for the cryptocurrency space and the distributed ledger blockchain space. Facebook's attention to this has catalyzed a huge amount of development. The EU is looking at its own potential currency now. The US is potentially looking at it. China, Xi Jinping is talking about it, right? So without Facebook's Libra announcement, this stuff certainly wouldn't be happening now, maybe happening years from now. So that I think is terrific for adoption overall. Now, the actual implementation of Libra, I actually think is very dangerous, both to governments, to other competing projects, and frankly, for centralization and oversight kind of all in general. And so I think if it were implemented as planned, you could see Facebook become the largest company in the world, effectively more powerful than any government.
Okay, well, brings up a lot of questions. So, I mean, the first of which was, yes, I do think the fact that a lot of people kind of thought crypto, fad, a lot of people are like faithful believers, but why do we need a cryptocurrency? You know, I've even heard people say that to me. But the fact that Facebook got involved, I think they were like, this is interesting. If they see something here, we better pay attention. So I think that was definitely true. But Facebook is already, they've got 2.5 billion daily users, data on everybody that uses it. I mean, my mom isn't on Facebook. I think she's the only one who doesn't even data out there stored. So,
right, well, here's the thing. So you're right about all that, but Facebook doesn't really care about cryptocurrencies at all. It cares about payments. It cares about selling financial services to its users. And so what Facebook has all this information on you, but what it doesn't have is your legal identity. You sign up for Facebook with an email address. Maybe you give your birth date, maybe give some other information over time, but it doesn't have your legal identity. It can't sell you financial products. But to go through the KYC, know your customer piece of establishing a cryptocurrency wallet, now it fills in that last piece. Now it can sell you loans, mortgages, payday lending. And David Marcus, even in Congress, said that Facebook will do partnerships with other financial firms to sell products.
Okay.
And so that's why it's applying that if Facebook launches this via its Calibra subsidiary, it will become the largest financial service provider in the world because it will be selling services to its 2 to 3 billion users.
That's right. It will sell services to people that Chase Bank, for example, or Bank of America can't do because they are not allowed to operate in certain countries. But
partially, it'll also just be much easier. You'll get an ad on your phone for a loan, or you want to apply to mortgage. And by the way, Facebook will already know so much about you. It'll be able to tailor those offers far more specifically to you. It'll know far more about who you are than your bank does.
Okay.
And
so what do we do about that? I mean, because it is kind of good to have access to mobile financial services and to adapt to technology, but does it have to be Facebook that's behind it?
Yeah, no, it's a terrific question, and the large user base is only been partially monetized by Facebook to date. They're basically copying Alipay, and Alipay is owned by Ant Financial, which has the largest money market in the world and offers its users all these services I mentioned. So it already exists, it's already happening. They have 1 billion users
in China.
And they're doing exactly this. And this is exactly what Facebook wants to deploy on its platform, which has 3 billion users, not 1 billion. Good thing, bad thing, it would be more convenient for people, that's for sure, but at what cost in terms of privacy, centralization, and in terms of ultimate anti-competitiveness?
Sure. I mean, they could manipulate interest rates. I mean, they could do a lot of different things if they were.
I mean, they could manipulate pricing for sure. Interest rates is a big thing, but manipulate pricing for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then let's just talk about blockchain in general, because I always try to kind of People ask me a lot, what is this? How am I going to use it? I mean, first of all, how do you explain blockchain to people that aren't insiders in the industry? And how will it help us lead better lives?
I explain blockchain by a way to trade value with someone you don't know, with no third party. We're so accustomed to using third parties. We use credit cards, we use checks. Some people we used to use checks, and we use banks. And they're the intermediary between me and you. So if I give you $1, you don't have to trust me because it goes through the bank, it goes through a credit card, and that's how we're able to trust this transaction happens. With blockchain, it allows everyone out there in the audience to see it, and they witness this transaction, and then means you don't need a third party. So it means you can send money incredibly quickly for almost no fee, and that is revolutionary. And so it eliminates the need for third parties that are basically siphon off fees and take time. So we think about it as a frictionless economy.
Will banks go out of business?
No, banks will not go out of business, but their business models will probably evolve over time.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming by and sharing your thoughts. Very interesting, especially about Libra.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Still trying to figure that out. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be back.